Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I appreciate you being here. If you're not a member of our community yet, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Please enable notifications because you'll get instant updates from our channel going forward. I appreciate you watching. Also, if you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Gently tap the like button, ignite the like button because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Speaking of ignite, something has just happened that has essentially ignited stimulus talks, and this is big news. And please remember that you heard it first here on the Ignition Time channel. This is breaking news. The Trump administration, President Trump's administration, is about to present a counter offer to House Speaker Pelosi, and that's going to be $1.8 trillion. It's going to be a $1.8 trillion counter offer to House Speaker Pelosi, according to sources. Also, this is the information we have right now. Now, the negotiations are rapidly changing, rapidly evolving, and I will give you the latest status. Now, I want to be very clear. The president has actually signed off, according to our sources, the president has signed off on a $1.8 trillion proposal to present to Speaker Pelosi. This is information from Phil Mattingly, who's a congressional correspondent, and I'll provide you with all the links to all our sources in the description section below. The president has signed off on a $1.8 trillion counteroffer proposal to House Speaker Pelosi. And essentially, what Larry Kudlow was referring to earlier was that the White House was putting together the final touches to the proposal. So I just want to be very clear: the specifics of the proposal are very, 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 very important over here. And U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin is about to present a $1.8 trillion counter offer to House Speaker Pelosi when the two speak later today, because U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and House Speaker Pelosi are scheduled to speak today. This is a $1.8 trillion counter offer, up from the $1.62 trillion that was originally proposed by U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin last week. And I was the first person on YouTube to break that news. I'm the first person on YouTube, probably the internet, to break this news. So please remember that you heard it here first. All I ask is you please click the subscribe button, please enable notifications, and also please click the like button. Gently tap the like button because that does help out the YouTube algorithm. That's your vote of confidence in us. Remember that the Democrats were originally at $2.4 trillion. They actually came down to they're sort of right in that range with the updated version of the HEROES Act. They actually came down to $2.2 trillion with the updated version of the HEROES Act. The administration, which did not want to go north of $1 trillion initially, remember, Republicans passed a skinny bill that was right around $500 billion. U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin went up to 1.62 and now is willing to go up to $1.8 trillion. So I want to be clear. Two things are very important right now. Number one, will House Speaker Pelosi agree on the top line number of the $1.8 trillion? And if the answer to that question is yes, the second and the major question is, will Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell have enough votes, have enough GOP votes, have enough Republican senators who will back this? I can tell you one thing for sure. If House Speaker Pelosi and U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin agree to this, then the House will be called back in session to vote and the Senate will be called back in session to vote. And I also did another video on how long it could take for stimulus to actually arrive once the two come to an agreement. So I just want to be clear that right now, this is the news that we have. Again, you heard it here first, and I'll be providing you with more detailed information as we go along. And two sources close to Senate leadership said that President Trump is, I quote, desperate, has zero leverage to push them to support a bill crafted by House Speaker Pelosi, and congressional Republicans are not inclined to wrap themselves up any tighter to a sinking ship. Oh my Lord. And by the way, this information came from Elena Treen, who's a White House reporter for Axios. So the way things stand right now, again, two close to Senate leadership said that the president is desperate because the president is lagging behind in polls nationwide. So again, two sources said that the president is desperate, according to Senate leadership, and the president has zero leverage to be able to push Republican senators to support a bill that House Speaker Pelosi wanted and almost pretty much got, because the House Speaker has stayed firm, stayed firm, stayed firm, stayed firm. Now, let me be clear. For me, it doesn't matter whether you're red or blue. For me, it's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. So, if any of my viewers and subscribers want to get into a discussion in the comment section below about, hey, Speaker Pelosi stood her ground or whatever, you can do that. But for me, it's about getting a stimulus deal done. I want a stimulus deal to happen for my viewers and subscribers, because I know my community is struggling to pay rent, is struggling to put food on the table, needs to keep the lights on. So for me, that is the end game, regardless of who takes credit, regardless of who points the blame. But again, this is big news. Two sources close to Senate leadership have said that the president is desperate, has zero leverage to push Republican senators to support a bill that essentially consists of a wish list of Democrats' items, and congressional Republicans are not inclined to wrap themselves any tighter to a sinking ship. Oh boy, oh boy. So we could potentially, based on the reporting that I'm giving you right now, see a situation where House Speaker Pelosi and U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin agree. That's number one. We could potentially see that. The president is ready to sign off on it. The House votes on it, but the Senate does not support it, because the Senate does not want to tie themselves, does not want to, I quote, wrap themselves any tighter in a sinking ship. This is almost like a Game of Thrones situation going on right now. And this is, it seems like there are some Senate Republicans who do not want to support this. I just want to be clear. Also, this is breaking news that just came in. The White House's top line number is $1.8 trillion. You heard it here first. The White House's top number is $1.8 trillion. The line the GOP will not cross is $2 trillion. All of this depends on the details. The state and local aid is very important. The news here is that the administration is aiming for $300 billion in state and local funding. This is going to be too low for Democrats, because remember, the Democrats had wanted $436 billion. But it is in the right direction. It's getting closer to what the Democrats wanted. In the previous proposal, U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin had offered $250 billion. The Democrats were at $436 billion. This is $300 billion. By the way, if you saw my video a couple of days ago, I had suggested that the president tweet to Nancy Pelosi that, hey, how about $1.9 trillion and 325, including $325 billion for state and local funding. You have 48 hours. So what is actually happening right now is that the president and the administration is offering $1.8 trillion, and then they're also offering $300 billion, which is very, 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 very close to what I had proposed 24 hours ago. Again, the White House's top line number, $1.8 trillion. The GOP will not cross $2 trillion. All of this depends on the details. This is still significantly higher than what the GOP senators had gotten behind, which was right around the $1.5 trillion range. The administration is aiming for $300 billion in state and local funding, which is too low for Democrats. The GOP senators will have to come up over here for this to pass in the Senate. The question is, will they come up? And there's also unspent money from the original CARES Act that could be counted. And what they want to try and do is replace the earned income tax credit with a boost in stimulus payments. So that's what they're trying to do, so that people get stimulus checks. We're not exactly clear on the details, but it shows that the Republican Party is looking to sort of close in on the open loops in the negotiations. And there are Republican senators who want to have nothing to do with this. And now, I'm not exactly sure what the administration strategy is right now, but I can tell you that maybe the president wants a bump in the stock market, maybe the president wants a surge in his poll numbers, but this is a deal that could have easily happened months ago, but suddenly after a situation where the deal was almost dead 48 hours ago, we are now in a situation where the deal can indeed potentially happen, but it still needs to get Republican support. There was my detailed analysis, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new from this video. We work hard to bring you these updates. If you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications so you get instant updates from our channel going forward. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video. You'll learn more about me. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. Also, again, please click the subscribe button. All you have to do is click subscribe and enable notifications, and you'll get more updates and alerts from us going forward. This is quite incredible what's going on, and I'm hoping that we can get some sort of a solution. And as I'm reporting to you, This is what Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said. He said, I quote, "The situation is kind of murky, and I think the murkiness is a result of the proximity of the election and everybody kind of trying to elbow for political advantage." From the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The situation is kind of murky, and I think the murkiness is a result of the proximity to the election and everybody kind of trying to elbow for political advantage. We are seeing a Game of Thrones situation playing out in Washington, D.C., between the president, between House Speaker Pelosi, and between Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, with U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin being the guy who's trying to be the negotiator, if you will. The only difference is I'm not exactly sure if everybody knows what they're doing. That's where things stand, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thanks. Bye. I'll see you soon. Bye.